Hey everyone, welcome. Hey everyone, welcome to the Breakthrough Entrepreneurs Show, where we empower entrepreneurs to overcome the challenge of work-life balance, burnout, break bad, old, unhealthy, negative habits, behaviors, build new habits, create new rituals, new routines. I'm your host Muhammad Faraj, and today our topic is why entrepreneurs should or must organize their week to stay on track. You see, the source of our stress or feeling overwhelmed or frustrated, it's not always from our businesses. It's not coming from our business tasks or projects, or when we fail, or when we end up in a complex, certain, or particular project, or when we feel like things aren't working in our businesses and we are struggling in some area in our businesses, but it comes from not being organized. You see, we as entrepreneurs, we must be organized in our days, in our week. So if we want to make progress, if we want to reach our milestones, if we want to make it to the deadlines, if we want to work efficiently, faster, in a fast pace, if we want to get things done faster, if we want to complete our projects, our tasks that we have prepared, if we want to do efficient work, if we want to work on those projects that moves the needle, that gets us closer to our business goals and dreams, we have to be organized. We can't just operate randomly and expect to suddenly end up in a result. No, my friends. We end up in a big results. We make big strides in our businesses. We make progress. We achieve goals. We reach our milestones when we are organized. When we are organized in our days, when we are organized with our schedule, when we are organized in our week, when we are organized with our tasks, projects that moves the needle in our business. So it's important that we organize our week, that we plan, that we prepare, that we have a clear plan for our week. So you don't end up feeling stressed, disappointed, overwhelmed when you have organized week, when you have clarity about your days, when you have a clear image on your routines, on your relaxation and rest blocks of times or days, when you have a clear plan on what you need to be working on what you need to prioritize, when you have a clear image about your routines, your morning routine, your evening routine. So I'm going to talk about this topic in this episode, and I'm going to share with you some personal examples about my past mistake or my own failure before, and I'm going to share some tips for you so you can start your organization week. So, why entrepreneurs should organize their week? You see, you have work to do. You have a family, or maybe you are a single, and you have routines, you have habits, you have a structure that you need to follow. So, you have kids, they have their trainings, their sport, they have their homework. So, if we don't organize our week, we will end up constantly feeling tired, frustrated, disappointed, stressed, and feeling overwhelmed, feeling confused on what to be working on, what to be not working on, what should I prioritize, how do I need to start my day, what should I do first thing in the morning, what should I do on the evening, what happens if this doesn't work. So we need to have an organization and organizational week in our entrepreneurial life, so we don't end up repeating the same mistakes. We don't end up feeling constantly stressed, frustrated, and end up criticizing ourselves, feeling like we don't have control over our life, we don't have control over our shadow, we don't have control over our business management, we don't have control over our time management, we don't have control over our days in our week. And unfortunately, this leads you to waste so much time, so much energy, where you could have built this new habit by replacing your old habit, by building a new habit where you are organizing your day. You are organizing, planning, and preparing ahead of time your week so you can have a wonderful week, so you can live a relaxed and relieved week, and you feel proud, you feel happy, you feel excited, you feel achieved, you feel progressed at the end of the week, instead of feeling frustrated, tired, disappointed, and feeling negative, thinking negative about your life. Why is this happening? Why is that why I can't break that habit? Why is this behavior keeps repeating? Why am I stuck? Why am I feeling stagnant or stagnation in my entrepreneurial life? Why am I not moving the needle in my business? Why am I not getting closer to my goals, my dreams? Why am I still at the same level of my health, at the same level of my energy? Why am I still at the same level in my business? Why am I not upgrading my health? Why am I not improving my life? Why am I not upgrading and growing my business? You see, you get so much negative thoughts, feelings, emotions, and feeling stress, overwhelmed at the end of the week because you lived a random week, because you didn't organize, because you didn't plan, because you didn't prepare ahead of time. So we need to break this bad habit where we are just operating randomly. We're ignoring our week. It's very, very important that we plan, we prepare, and we make a clear preparation or planning for our week, so we know where we will end up at the end of the week. So we know that we're not going to repeat the same habits and end up feeling stressed, overwhelmed, frustrated at the end of the week. No, instead we feel happy, we feel organized, we feel achieved at the end of the week. So make it a habit where you are organizing, you are planning, you are preparing your week, your weekly days. You know what time you need to wake up in the morning and implement your morning routine, until what time. And you know what time you're going to show up for your dream life by doing the work, by working on your business tasks, projects. You know what time you're going to get lunch. You know what time you're going to work on the secondary tasks, projects in your business. You know what time you're going to rest, you're going to relax, you're going to give your body some rejuvenation so you can rejuvenate your energy and come back to your work feeling happy, excited, with a high energy. You know what time you're going to implement your evening routine. You know what time you're going to spend time with your family, with the loved ones. And you know what time you're supposed to go to bed and get sufficient sleep. So you have a clear plan for your days, for your week. You know that because you have planned, you have scheduled your events, your Zoom calls, your phone calls. You have planned your meetings, your conferences, your events. You have planned your activities. Maybe you're a family and you have kids and they have their trainings, they have their homework, maybe they are involved with various activities like birthdays or events or sport clubs. So maybe you're intending to visit some friends or some people that you are scheduled to meet up with. So you need to organize, you need to have an organizational week so you don't feel stressed, overwhelmed, and disappointed about your days, about your health, about your work, about your business during the week. No, instead, you're starting your day after you wake up in the morning and you're feeling excited, enthusiastic, and the vitality exists in your life, in your body, and you end your day feeling achieved, feeling progress, feeling relaxed, feeling relieved. So you go to bed and feeling happy with the day. So organizing our week is so important for us as entrepreneurs because we work for ourselves and we have our own job. So it's our job to schedule, to prepare, to have a clear plan for our week because no one will do it for you. When you work for people, when you work for other companies, they will do that for you. They have already planned, scheduled all the work, all the projects, all the tasks, all the meetings, the conferences, all the activities, all the events, all the Zoom calls. They already prepare, plan all these activities for you when you are working from 9 to 5. But when you are working for yourself, whether if you are an entrepreneur or solopreneur or a family who runs a business, then you need to do it for yourself. You need to organize your week. You need to have a very clear plan what to do, when to do, how to do all the activities, all the events, all the tasks, all the projects, all the meetings in your week. And when we don't plan, when we don't organize our week, I promise you, we end up repeating the same negative bad habits. We eat unhealthy. We feel frustrated during our days. We wake up late in the morning and we are barely able to work on our projects. We don't have time to implement our morning routine. So we feel late. When we wake up late in the morning, we feel that there's a short time, there's a very tight time or space to implement our morning routine. So this means we would need to start working. And when we are starting working without implementing our morning routine, we are dragging ourselves during the day. We are barely able to complete even few tasks because we don't feel clearly, we don't think clearly, and we don't feel happy, energized, activated in our bodies, in our mental ability. So we don't feel mentally very healthy or productive or focused throughout the day. So that's why it's very important that we So that's why it's very important that we organize our days, we organize our week, so that way we don't end up repeating those habits, waking up late and not be able to implement our morning routines. And when you don't organize your week, you are late for your work, you are late for your routines, you are late for your lunch, you are late for your business goals. You overdo your deadlines. You are passing by your deadlines because you became off track and you didn't follow your structure and you didn't plan your days, your week. So you ended up operating randomly, working randomly, waking up in the morning randomly, and you are overdoing your deadlines. And not only overdoing your deadlines, when you don't organize your week, you end up overriding the other tasks, the other projects, the other activities on your schedule. Because when you are planning and organizing your week, you are blocking a specific amount of time for each activity, for each routine, for each task, for each project, for each meeting, for each conference, for each Zoom call, for each meal time. And when you don't organize your week, you end up overriding your schedule, and you would have to readjust your schedule constantly. You would have to make new time. You would have to change your schedule. You would have to change your plan. You would waste so much time, so much energy, feeling confused, overwhelmed, because you didn't organize your week. So your week got messy because it wasn't organized from the beginning. So why wouldn't I organize my week so at the end of the week I can feel happy, energized, relieved, relaxed, and I will not be occupied or controlled by negative thoughts, feelings, emotions, followed with self doubts, fearful thoughts. You feel fear and anxiety about your business, about your life, about your goals, about your dreams. But when you organize your days, when you are organizing your week, you have a clear plan to reach your milestones, to achieve your goals. You don't end up feeling stuck, stagnant, overwhelmed, frustrated in your business and in your life. Instead, you are maintaining a good, healthy, fulfilled, and happy life. And you're enjoying your business, you are enjoying your relationships, you are enjoying your healthy life. So, organized life makes you feel awesome. It makes you feel happy because you are organized. And when you are organized, you achieve your goals. You become successful because successful companies, successful entrepreneurs, they learned how to organize their life. So they know that most of their time is being spent on important things in their life. They know what time they're working. They know what time they should be waking up in the morning. They know what time they're going to spend time with their families. They have organized their schedule. They have blocked time for each activity, each task, each project, each meeting. They have organized their life, and that's why they seem like they're making progress. They are achieving. They are building those big companies. They are growing and scaling their businesses because your businesses, your goals, your dreams, your clients, they all depend on this habit of organizing your week. When you organize your week, you organize your life, you organize your business, and you become a very successful and you break through in your entrepreneurial life. So, not organizing your week and living randomly messy week will have consequences, and it will cost you to waste so much time, waste so much energy, and then you end up feeling stuck, stagnant in where you are in your business, and you will start to feel disappointed, overwhelmed, stress of not being able to build your business, to grow your business, to scale your business. And you look negatively about your life, and it impacts your self-esteem, and you feel disappointed about your life in general, and you start to complain, you start to feel and think negatively about your life in general. But if you organize your life, you are not stuck anymore. You're not feeling stressed, overwhelmed, frustrated anymore. That's it. That bad habit is gone and your past is gone. That feeling or that struggle of feeling frustrated, disappointed is gone. You are starting a new life. So make it a habit where you are organizing your week ahead of time. And when you do that, I promise you, when you repeat this habit for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you are on your way on a dream life. You are building your dream life week by week. So it's very important that we organize our week so we have a clear plan on what time we're going to start our day, what time we're going to wake up, what are we going to do, what meeting, what Zoom call are they waiting on us, so we don't miss out on so many opportunities. Because when you are not organizing your week, you are missing on so many opportunities. I promise you. Other people, other companies, other entrepreneurs, they're building, they're growing, they're inventing, they're creating, they're growing, they're expanding, they're scaling, and you are stuck in your own entrepreneurial life. So it's very, very important that we make it a habit where we are organizing our week ahead of time. We are planning and we are shadowing a specific or particular a block of time for each routine, each habit, each activity, each work or business task or project. For each meal time, we plan and prepare and organize a block of time for each resting time, for each activity, for each Zoom call, for each meeting, for each conference. So we can live that happy, healthy, fulfilled life. We all want to live that life. We as entrepreneurs, we want to make our dreams come true. So please make it a habit where you are organizing your week, and do not dismiss this habit, because your habit maybe will tell you don't do that, or do other work, or go spend time somewhere, or you don't need to organize your week, you don't need to plan your week. Do not let this bad habit prevent you from building that dream life. Instead, make it a habit where you are taking rest, when you are taking a day off in your week, in your entrepreneurial life, and in that day you can sit and have a clear mind where you are playing a soft and a relaxed music, and just sit with your computer and organize your week, organize your day, schedule a particular time for your health, schedule a particular time for your focus, schedule a particular time to spend it with your family, with the loved ones, schedule a particular time for resting, for relaxing, schedule a particular time for visiting your friends or for doing other activities. So I'm telling you from my own personal experience. I used to work at an elementary private company school here in my local area here in Sweden, and what I learned from my old job, what I learned from that entrepreneur who owned that company or that school, is that that person, he used to organize, plan, prepare the week ahead of time every Sunday. So every weekend, every Sunday, he would go to his office and he would invest from 2 to 3 hours of his day. On Sundays evening, he would sit and plan and prepare the week for the school. And after he is done, he would send an email to all the employees, to all the teachers at the school, and I would receive an email from him, and I would notice that he had planned, he had organized, he had scheduled, he had prepared the whole week for the school. And this is a perfect example from entrepreneur that I used to work for. So one of the mistakes that I made in my own entrepreneurial life, and I remember that mistake was causing me to feel so much overwhelmed, stress, and missing opportunities. And that mistake was a big lesson for me to learn and to apply it into my own entrepreneurial life. So I remember one day that entrepreneur, he was the headmaster of that school that I worked with. I remember he had already prepared and booked and planned and organized a company to do photographing for the school, for the whole school. So every year before or after the starting of the season of the school, they would book a company, and that company will visit the school and they will photograph the whole school, all the employees, all the teachers, even all the students and the kids. So one day they had already planned and organized and prepared and booked that company. So I went to the school late to do photographing with the other teachers or with the other employees, because I used to work at that school. And when I went there, I was so surprised. I went there, I saw the studio, the camera, the lighting, all the cables. They were prepared, they were planned, they were organized early in the morning. So I went there, but I did not see any employee, any teachers. And then I went around and I was asking other people, I was asking them about photographing, and they told me, they were laughing. They said, what? They say, we already done the photographing. They say, it's already done. I said, what? Yeah, they told me, we came very early in the morning and we did the photographing and we're already done with it. So there is no more photographing. So I felt so sad, so disappointed, so frustrated, so stressed about myself when I heard that they have already done photographing. And I was late and I did not come on time. I wasn't planned. I didn't prepare to attend that photographing day or event. And they had already done photographing, and I was the only one who was missing there. I am the only one who didn't get photographing that day. I was the only one who didn't show up. So I am the only one who missed that opportunity. So I remember I came back home feeling sad, emotionally feeling so sad, and it was my last year at the school, and I wanted to really get a picture or photograph with the other teachers because it would be a very wonderful memory. So I felt so sad, disappointed, overwhelmed when I came back home. And I remember I told myself, Muhammad, you are an organized person. You don't organize your life. That's why you missed that opportunity. So I told myself, you need to realize that if you don't organize your life, Muhammad, if you don't plan, prepare your days, your week, you will miss so many more opportunities in the future. I promise you. And you will pay the price for it. So I remember I learned a big lesson from that day, is that if I don't organize my own life, if I don't make it a habit where I'm constantly organizing, planning, preparing, and showing up ready for each activity, for each project, for each meeting, for each work day, for each routine. I'm showing up for each time that I spend with my relationships. I will miss so many opportunities. So I learned from that mistake. That failure, that mistake was a big lesson for me to learn and apply it in my own entrepreneurial life. So since then, I started to plan and prepare and organize my days, my week, every weekend. So I choose Sunday evening, just like that entrepreneur did at the school, at my old job where I worked at. I started to organize and plan and sit with a clear mind and play some soft music. And I would sit every Sunday. I made it a habit on the evening. I would sit, plan, prepare, organize, schedule time, and plan all the activities, all the events, all my Zoom calls, all my meetings, all my projects, all my tasks. I would plan them every Sunday on the evening. So that way, when I start my day on Monday, I feel happy, I feel organized, I feel motivated. I know what needs to be done. I know what time I need to wake up. I know what I need to do, when I need to do, and where I need to do. So I live my days, my week days. I don't end up sitting and just planning, shadowing, and readjusting or editing all that. No, I have a clear plan for my week. I have a clear schedule, a schedule, a time management for my week. I know what tasks, what projects I'm going to work during the week, and at the end of the week, I feel happy. I feel energized. I feel so happy with my progress. I feel so happy with the results. At the end of the week, I have done all my routines. At the end of the week, I have done all my projects, all my tasks. I made it to the deadlines and I reached my milestones. And at the end of the week, I reward myself by visiting some friends or calling a friend or a family or doing some enjoyable fun activity or maybe attending a hockey game or maybe traveling to another city. So I would reward myself at the end of the week for doing a good work, for completing my work, my tasks, my projects, for implementing my routines, for taking care of my health, for eating healthy, for improving my health, my performance. So I get my reward and I enjoy going out, visiting friends, or going to a nature place. And that's how I live my life. And my life is generally organized and my life feels relaxed, relieved. I wake up in the morning feeling happy, confident, motivated, driven in the morning, and I end my day feeling also happy, excited, progressed, achieved, and I go to bed. I'm so relieved, I'm so relaxed, I'm so hopeful, I'm so energized. So it's very important that we build this habit in our entrepreneurial life so we don't end up feeling stagnant or stuck or disappointed about our entrepreneurial life in general. Instead, we want to feel happy, we want to feel achieved, we want to feel energized, we want to feel like our dreams, our goals are there. We are just reaching them out. So start from this week. From this week, start organizing your week, your days, and choose a day like I did, maybe on Saturday, maybe on Sunday, where you are sitting in a quiet place and you are thinking clearly with a clear mind, and play some music and sit and just organize, plan your week so you know where your life is going. So you know you're not off track, instead you are staying on track. So you don't end up wasting years of being stuck and stagnant in your business just like I did. Do not make the same mistake, the same failure that I did in my own entrepreneurial life so you can achieve your goals and your dreams. because your goals, your dreams, your performance, your productivity, your focus, your family, your health, your mindset, they all depend on this habit of organizing your days, organizing your week, so you can break through in your entrepreneurial life and don't end up feeling overwhelmed, stress, frustration, because this habit will make all this struggle, all the feeling of overwhelmed, stress, and frustration disappear from your entrepreneurial life, so you can start your days feeling strong, feeling confident, feeling driven, feeling excited, feeling happy, and telling yourself that today I'm going to have a great day. Today I'm going to have a wonderful day. This week will be my best week. I am going to kill it. I'm going to complete all my projects, all my tasks, all my work, and then celebrate my wins. And this will lead you to celebrate your biggest goals, your dreams in the future. That's it. That's what I got for you in this episode. I hope you enjoyed watching or listening to this content, and I was doing my best to share with you one of my mistakes that I made before, and I learned a lesson from this mistake. And this habit can transform your days, and can transform your week, and it can transform your whole entrepreneurial life. Please don't forget to leave a review on iTunes and follow me on iTunes or Spotify, so you can get weekly content or episodes on my podcast. And follow me on social media. I'm very active on Instagram. I publish daily and weekly content on Instagram. And subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get a new content daily and weekly on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for watching or listening, and I can't wait to publish a new episode. Bye everyone.